Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Vault XL. I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. Shenanigans perfected by an American citizen. An African American pastor decided to tell his congregants during a church service that he was tired of them playing in his face, meaning they're not tithing as they should be. So he wants them to show him their tax returns. Weigh in, take the poll on my community page. If you think it is right for a pastor to ask his or her congregants for tax returns or any form of income, should they verify it? Would you verify your income to your pastor? Let's hear what this crazy man has to say. 1 second. This is by My Mixtapes. He filmed this, or someone filmed it, or put it on their X account. So we're gonna see what they have to say. Next week, I am asking that all church members. Hold on, everybody. My volume's down. Tax return so that I can review them. I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings on Sunday mornings. Amen. It's tight, but it's right. Let me hear that again. Next week, I am asking that all church members bring a copy of your tax return so that I can review them. I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings on Sunday mornings. Amen. It's tight, but it's right. Don't know who this pastor is, but he's saying that he is tired of you all playing in his face. This was a 15-second clip by My Mixtapes. March 10th, this was posted to social media. The video has sparked massive backlash online, with users calling the practice cult-like, exploitive, and a clear example of churches operating as businesses rather than places of worship. And hello, Julia. Thank you for joining me. Happy Saturday, everybody. So let's go to the Queen's community page, and we're going to see how you all weighed yes or no. Let's see if I get a little sunlight. Got me a pretty little palm back there. It give you all a view. My little palm tree. Thank you for joining me. Let's go to the community page, everybody. Let's see how you all weighed pertaining to the commentary. Before I get into that, this weekend's movie is Soft and Quiet. It is playing on Tubi. Please check it out. Hello, T. Conky. Thank you for joining me. This is a movie that everyone in America needs to watch. Whether you're white, black, Mexican, Jewish, because this movie, let's just say, your feelings toward others can get out of hand. Because I really don't want to tell you what it's about, because I want you to watch it. It is a very good movie. It's called Soft and Quiet. It's filmed in California, Northern California, in Inverness, California. Yeah, I did a little background because when I was looking at the schoolhouse, I was like, where's this school? Next door to somebody's house, where's this film? So I did a little background research. It is a very good movie. Soft and Quiet, free on Tubi. It is about how you feel about others, okay? Such as race, because I don't want to tell you all of the movie. It's about preconceived notions of other races and how your thought process can lead you into the abyss in having these ill feelings toward other races. Please watch it. Soft and Quiet. The lady who is the lead actress in this movie, she did a fine fine job. A fine job. Yes. Your mama. All right, everybody. Soft and Quiet is my movie for this weekend. So we're going to go down the questions one by one, and we could talk about pastors and their behavior during this live because a lot of my questions are about pastors. Should gay pastors, priests, and rabbis be allowed to pastor a church or synagogue, etc.? 31% yes, 57% no, 12% of you not sure, 65 people voted. So wow, 57% of you said no. 31% of you agreed and said that a gay pastor, rabbi should officiate church services. Wow, interesting. Your pastor announces he is gay or she is gay. Do you continue attending church? 25% yes, 52% no, 16% of you said you're not sure, and 7% of you said you would find yourself a new church. 56 people voted. Wow. $52 of you said you would stop going to church. 52%. 25% of you said you would keep going. Interesting. During church service, your pastor asks you to bring in tax papers the next week to see how much you are making versus your tithing. Do you comply? As you heard this pastor say, next week I want every church member to bring in their tax returns. Do you do it? Yes or no? 0% of you said yes, 64% no, 7% not sure, 29% of you said you'd find you another church, 45 people voted. And I had asked this question a day ago, who was the first person that voted, find myself a new church? Laughing emojis, because one of you had voted the other day. One person had voted and they said, find myself another church. And now 28 other people, or 28%, agreed. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about church. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about pastors. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Got to get that water in, honey. Got to get that water in. Okay, give it to me. You believe in God? You believe in Jesus? Believe in Allah? Jehovah? And one day your pastor, priest, rabbi, bishop says the church is not getting enough money. Sorry about the lighting, everybody. The church is not getting enough. I was about to say the church is not getting enough lighting. The church is not getting enough money. So obviously, the secretary has told the pastor, hello, Linda, hey, we need some money. We're not making enough money. They're not bringing in enough money. So the pastor is saying, well, next week, I want all church members to bring their tax returns in. Do you take your tax returns in to the pastor? Weigh in. Take the poll on my community page. I want to know how many of you are going to say, yes, I love my church. I love God. I love my pastor. I believe in tithing. I tithe the right amount according to my income. Allegedly, it's supposed to be 10% that you're supposed to tithe of your income. So are any of you tithing the 10%? Are you tithing 7%, 6%, 5%, 0%? You giving what you want to give. Linda says no. Linda, you're saying what? You won't tithe? You don't tithe? Or you're not going to show your tax returns. Do you go to church, Linda? Don't mean to get in your business. Sorry about my lighting, everybody. It gets like this for some crazy reason. That's why I brought the lamp out. Because you know my device goes in and out on the lighting for some weird reason. You're saying no, you won't show your tax returns. That's what you're saying to me. No, you will not. Linda says no, she will. Who else is in the chat and viewing says no, they will not show their tax returns to their pastor? Julia, I'm sorry, Miss Joe. You said he's not a tax preparer. None of his business. I don't know how you go to church. Since we are on the subject, are some of you attending church? You do believe in God, but you would not show your tax returns, your income tax papers, any type of income you get, whether it be Social Security, SSI, because there are some people who are retired, they don't work, so they don't have any tax papers to show the pastor. Some people are self-employed, they might do Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash. So what are they supposed to do? Take their little device and show the pastor how many people they rode around in their car for the week, or how many DoorDash deliveries they did. Can you imagine going to the pastor with your phone showing how many DoorDash deliveries you did? And he's sitting there, Sally Mae, you owe us this amount of money from your DoorDash deliveries. Susie Mae, you owe us this much from your Social Security check. Mr. John, you owe us so much money from your SSI. You ain't got no job, you need to pick up some cans and bring us some money. We need money, honey. That's what saying, I need some money. Turn the opposite way with your device. Have the light on your face, not back. That should fix the lighting. Well, even when I do that, the phone still blinks in and out, even if there's no, because somebody had said that years ago. Now you see how it'll still blink out. The lighting still does it. That's why I had to put a lamp on the, it's the device. I think this phone does not like, it don't like going live. I can make a video, just a regular video, upload it, no problem. But when I do the live, there you have it. What you say? Oh man, not gotcha. Say what, Julia? See, it's still blinking in and out now. I can see it. I want everyone to take the polls on my community page pertaining to pastors' behavior. Oh, about the device, yeah. And I get more views too when I stream from the phone. Go figure. I do the StreamYard, not as many views. It's like there's some type of connection, meta, algorithm. It knows when you're going live from your device. If you're going live, it's like it sends out some type of algorithm email, and I tend to get more views from the phone. That's why I started going live more from the phone last year. Make it make sense. And everybody tunes in according to the subject matter. If it's something they like talking about, I mean, it's just the way it is. Everybody, the algorithm and people, you put them two together, it's like oil and water. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a crazy mix. Okay, so I've asked you questions about pastors' behavior. We've talked about the pastor wanting your tax return. Linda's the only one that has said no. Julia, how do you feel? Are you saying yes or are you saying no? You already said it's none of his business, so I take that as a no. The next question, your pastor, bishop, rabbi decides during service that he or she is a homosexual. Do you continue going to church? Weigh in. Take the polls on my community page. Are you still going to go to this church that you like? You've been going to this church for years. You feel at home. You feel safe at this place. But now you know the pastor likes men or she likes women, because you know there are some female pastors. I don't hear anything. I don't hear nothing out there. Are we still going to church knowing the pastor like men? Hell no. Pastor, you like boys, men's, I gotta find me a new church. Oh, I think I'll watch church from my living room. Still don't matter, pastor. Still could be gay. Could still be on the download. You're hearing a lot of this. A lot of pastors are on the download. You're seeing this a lot with black pastors. Why? I don't know. Why these men want to continue hiding their sexuality. Just come on out. Whoever you are, just come on out. Be yourself. Be yourself. So weigh in, everybody. Pastor tells the congregants, I am a homosexual. What do you do? Do you even ask a question during service? Well, how long have you known, Pastor? How long were you going to keep deceiving us, Pastor? Hell, do you even get up and walk out when he says it or when she says it? Not just sit through the service, biting your tongue and wanting to spit. Do you get up right then and walk out? What do you do? I should put that on the poll. I think I will. All right, everybody, weigh in. We got no information pertaining to Nancy Guthrie. It's always the same nonsense. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Take the pause, everybody. I'll put this question up. I was supposed to go to the movies tonight, but I was feeling kind of groggy today. So I've been running around all day yesterday. I ran around all day yesterday, and I got up this morning to get some more, hair products and stuff. So I was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to go to the movies, even though it's right nearby, but I don't know. Hell, I think it's $15. Honey, I have to buy it online and get the elderly discount. Shut your mouth. See how many dollars they take off. If I say I'm elderly, shut your mouth, child. And then I don't know how many seats are in the theater because they were showing all the ghost face masks. So I'm assuming those are the seats that were taken. So you got to decide which row you want to sit in. And I'm sitting there trying to think, well, I don't know which one's the middle or halfway to the top. So I like to sit in the middle rows when I go to the movie. I don't like to sit way up high, and I don't like to sit up front. I like to sit like in the top, in the middle rows. Okay, do you walk out of service? I might still go tonight, depending on how long this live goes. Take the pose, everybody. You get 3 options. Yes, no, and not sure. I think 4, I'm going to give you stay to ask questions. Be some old folks, and it's like, I ain't going no damn where. He gonna give me a damn reason. Tell me what the hell's been going on. I've been going to church, and he been lying. Got us thinking he like women, and he don't. Shut your mouth. All right. Next question. Should gay pastors, rabbis, bishops, priests be able to pastor a church, synagogue? Take the poll. 57% says no, 31% says yes. Surprising, 31%. So 31% of you all think it's okay to have a gay pastor. Lord have mercy. I've seen it all. Well, I live here in the South, and although my pastor says the Bible does not talk about homosexuality a lot, but as he said it during service, ain't no gay pastor gonna be up here. So I'm gonna say it would not be acceptable in many religions, okay? Denominations or whatever. So I'm just gonna say, my pastor say ain't nobody in this pulpit gonna be gay, okay? There you have it. Should there be gay pastors pastoring the church? Take the poll on my community page. Weigh in, everybody. Got a few people watching. You all are going to answer the question. What's going on with you guys? Weigh in. Talk to the queen. Talk to the queen. Would you stay during service if he came out, she came out? Would you stay so you could ask questions? Hey, what's going on? Hey, why didn't you tell us? Hey, what are you doing up here? You're supposed to be leading us, leading the flock. How can you lead us when you are liking men? You've been lying to us. Would you get up and walk out, go back to church, find a new church, stop going to church? Hell, would you even possibly stop believing in God? I don't know. Give me your opinion. Because there are some people, I think in some Catholic churches, they do have homosexual men and women as priests, and they are leading the church. Excuse me. And the people know this. I personally I don't think it's a good idea to have a gay pastor priest. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion. No. I mean, this my thing is you got to draw the line somewhere. So how far down the rabbit hole we gonna go with this? You sitting up here and you trying to lead me. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Sometimes I wonder if like these young men that go into the priesthood, if they go in knowing they like and are attracted to men. You understand what I'm saying? So they figure out hide in this little bubble that's filled with men for that very reason. I'm around men. There ain't gonna be no question because I'm a priest, excuse me, but I'm around men all the time and I could be around men all the time. And I won't doubt that some of them priests probably have sexual relations with each other. We've already heard of the filth of them, molesting children, boy children, girl children. But I won't doubt some of these pastors, these priests are having sex with each other. I remember I watched a documentary years ago, and it was over in, I think it was set in Spain or Italy, somewhere. And they was talking about the priests underground, being underground, in a little underground like club, and they would go hang out late night on the weekends or whatever, take their little shindig off and put on their boy clothes and dance around and be having sex with each other and every damn thing. Lord have mercy. I can't remember where I watched it. I watched it somewhere, but it was an interesting documentary that they had like this underground situation, and the priest would go party just like a regular guy, regular straight or gay man, partying and dancing and drinking and doing whatever, and also engaging in sex. I think there was a place that they would meet up, dance, party in a club, whatever. I think it also had places, rooms or whatever for the men to hook up and have sex. Lord have mercy. I believe that was in Italy. Wherever the hell the Vatican is, that's where that's where the hell it was going on. I said, you know you ought to be ashamed of yourself. If you want to live that life, that's my thing is if you know that you are attracted to men or women, you know you don't need to be leading the church, any type of church. That's just how I feel. I don't care if it's Baptist, I don't care if it's Jehovah's Witness, it's a Catholic, Episcopal, Methodist. No. 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 And that's my personal opinion. I don't think you need to be pastoring a church. All right, everybody. All this new stuff. About Nancy Guthrie. This is where I did not want to go today.
So it's day 41 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. I'm actually in Nancy's neighborhood right now. I'm just cooling down in the car. It's really hot here today in Tucson. But some new information. This is according to ABC News. They say that they have a source that reveals that the FBI has recovered additional images from cameras at Nancy Guthrie's home. Remember, we knew that they were able to get the images and video from the front camera, but apparently they are now also gathering images from other cameras at the home. According to ABC, these images were recovered in recent weeks from motion-activated cameras on the swimming pool backyard and side yard. They were unable to recover video footage, but they found reduced-size small thumbnail images that were captured when the cameras were triggered by motion, but that the cameras recorded nothing suspicious, according to the sources that ABC News has. So it's interesting. A lot of people were wondering, would people be able to go back and get the images from the other cameras? And apparently not the full video, but they were able to find the thumbnails. Right now they're saying nothing suspicious, but you never know, something in the video may help. So I got a couple things I'm working on today here near Nancy's house. I'll keep you guys posted.
All right, that's Brian Hinton. So they got thumbnails, but nothing suspicious. Also, they have footage from days before she went missing of people moving about. I'm assuming on the property. I don't know if it's in the backyard or whomever. Was it daytime? Was it nighttime? And are these people known to Nancy Guthrie? Who are these people? People working for her, people visiting her. Is she in the footage with the people or not? Is it her family? Is it her daughter and her husband, friends? Who is it? Don't give us no half-baked information about we see people on footage days before, but you don't tell us who the people are. This is just crazy to me. Then we've got Mr. Nanos going back and forth with, he has an idea what happened, but then he doesn't want to tell us what happened. Then he wants to tell us it's a possibility that it could happen again. Well, we know it's a possibility it can happen again because if you do it one time, you can do it again. Kind of like putting your hand in a cookie jar. You put your hand in there and ate one cookie, well, you can put your hand in there and eat another cookie. And if this is a person who has a vice, such as they like sexually assaulting elderly women, they like burglarizing houses, then hell yeah, they'll do it again. That's something you should have been telling people in the first place. That's something that all these detectives need to be telling people when you have a vicious crime. You've got to stop using the word target, target, target. It don't matter to me if you think a mother killed her kids and then you want to come back to the camera and say, well, I don't think it's a threat out here. You ain't got to worry about nobody trying to break in your house or steal your little girl, your little boy. The point is they've been walking around. The hell you talking about? You kill one, you kill two. Okay, well, you kill three, you can kill four. You like burglarizing houses, killing people in their house. Okay, well, then you can do it again. I look at them all the same. But this is something you always see when they get press conferences. Oh, I don't think that there's anybody, there's a threat to other people. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. If a person decides today they want to kill this person, okay, unalive, excuse me. They want to unalive this person right here. whether it be somebody that they like, dated. It does not mean the community is safe because they chose to unalive this person today. You think you know why they did it. So the public ain't at risk. They still out here walking around. The public is at risk because you have unalived a whole human. So you are a threat. You are a liability. And that's how I feel about that. You are a damn liability. Because we don't know what your mind might tell you. But you hear this a lot when it's the assumption of somebody close to the victim. Oh, I don't think the rest of y'all are in harm's way. You know, kind of like a brother goes in the house and unalives his whole family, you know, mom, dad, whatever. You gonna try to tell everybody else, you all right, you're safe in your house. No, they're not. No, they're not. You just like that Nick Reiner, he unalived 2 people. How the hell is he safe? He's walking around LA when you picked him up. You picked him up off the street with drugs in his hand. How was he safe? How was America safe? How were the people in California safe? Help me understand. He killed his own parents. You are not safe. I don't care if you think it was a targeted situation. The point is, if you can go and unalive this person, unalive 4 or 5 people in a house, whichsoever, go shoot up a school, whatever, you are not, no one is safe until that person is off the street. And that's my personal being. Hold on one second, I'm gonna have to restart my device. I see Knoxville got some drama going on. What's going on, everybody? Talk to the queen. I think I have a few people viewing. Well, that's fine. I'm not going to keep you all long. But I just wanted to play that little bit of information from Mr. Enton. I think the sheriff, he just needs to stop talking. He won't give Brian another interview. He'll talk to NBC, but he won't talk to Brian Enton. He's just upset because different people talk to Brian Enton about how they don't care for the sheriff. And the sheriff just needs to accept that you have a bad reputation. You have a bad reputation coming from Texas. And that don't have anything to do with Tucson. You have excessive force was mentioned, tardiness from gambling, off duty. And I'm assuming that's why you couldn't get to work on time, because you had a gambling problem. And what's the other one they had? I can't think of how you word it. Let's see, it was excessive force, tardiness, I guess insubordination. You're combative. And yet here you are, a big wig in the sheriff's department with a bad attitude. You this damn tall. You're a 5-foot giant with a nasty ass attitude. But these are the kind of people y'all like voting in because they get up in front of the camera and talk about what they're gonna do and what they're gonna change, and you believe them. And then once they get in office, they toss some people up, you know, because they're mad at the world. Just like I told you all the other day in my live. I don't know why the hell he's mad at the FBI if one of your employees was doing something he or she didn't have any business and they called for the FBI to come in to investigate. That's the FBI's job. The FBI don't know you. They're not friends with you, and they're not friends with your employees. So you can't get a fucking attitude because they came in to investigate one of your little nasty ass deputies. That's stupid. That shows you right there. He didn't have no business being in that. He don't need to be in that position. Now, what is Monk's talking about? Let's see new what they got. Have y'all heard about this guy who held his wife hostage? She was disabled. 5 years in one room. He's now incarcerated. I want to know what that elder abuse is about myself. I'm trying to see what's the latest, everybody. This is Fox News. This is probably just going to repeat everything that Brian Hinton already said.
Images from Nancy Guthrie's home cameras. Pictures from her front door, driveway, and backyard show people and cars in the days leading up to her disappearance. But they're still missing critical footage of the night she went missing. And sources say that's odd. And the FBI says they don't have any plans to release the new images. And they're still hunting for new leads. They've even reportedly questioned employees at a Mexican restaurant where Nancy taped a segment with Savannah for the Today Show months before she vanished.
What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant fruits?
It's so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle. I like to watch the holly and eat my plants.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home.
Yes.
Seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly pear margarita? Cheers.
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 Love you. Love you.
Nancy's been missing for 6 weeks now. Police still don't have any updates. Sheriff, he's still talking, telling Tucson, lock your door.
We believe we know why he did this, and we believe that it was targeted, but we're not 100% sure of that. And so it'd be silly to tell people, yeah, don't worry about it. You're not his target. Don't think for a minute that because it happened to the Guthrie family, you're safe. No, keep your wits about you.
So this was a targeted hit, but neighbors should be worried? It's been almost 2 months. We need more answers. The sheriff only has theories.
I think from day one, we had some strong beliefs about what happened, and those beliefs haven't diminished.
Do you believe it was a burglary gone wrong?
I'm not going to get into those theories. We have our beliefs. Everybody else has theirs.
So no updates, no suspects, no clue where Nancy is. Is the case cold? We hope not. We're still praying for Nancy and her safe return. Chris Swecker is a former FBI assistant director. So Chris, there have been showing, I guess, an ability to extract more images from the home cameras from all over the place, but nothing new from that night. Is that weird?
Well, I think it depends on whether those are motion-activated cameras, which I think they are. And if the FBI, and I think the FBI is in the lead here behind the scenes, if the FBI thought those videos could help solve this, help the public, help us solve the investigation, they would do that. But they're not releasing it. That tells me that they don't think it's all that relevant, or they're running it out themselves first. But every time the sheriff talks, I get less and less confidence about the investigation in this case.
What do you make about looking more closely at this Mexican restaurant?
I think it's a logical lead. We've been sort of play-by-playing this investigation since day one, and all these little things come out in dribs and drabs. It's hard to get excited about any one particular lead at this point, or any one particular overt investigative act, and that's what we're seeing now is, sparsely spaced out now, but overt investigative acts get noticed, and we make a lot out of it, but I just don't see that as being a breakthrough or representing a breakthrough in the case.
Is this case cold?
I don't know if we can call it cold, but I would call it lukewarm and cooling off pretty quickly. I think they're still going through a lot of data. The FBI analysts in the background are crunching through a lot of lot of the data. I think the video is painstaking because it has to be real time, frame by frame review. And I think there's a lot of it to review. And I think there's a lot of stores in the area and outside the area looking for that merchandise that was purchased. And that has to be reviewed by analysts as well. 40,000 tips and leads. They're still chewing through all of that. So I still hold a lot of hope that something's going to match up. Some pieces of evidence are going to link together, and we'll get a solution to this case.
What's your read on the sheriff?
I think the sheriff's all over the place. He does have a reputation of being a curmudgeon. Hard to get along with. Many of his own sheriff's deputies have left the department. A lot of experience has left the department. We've learned over the last few weeks, not over the last few weeks, but even before this case happened, he demoted his pilot, the only person that could have got up in the air in the first hours of the kidnapping, and used the FLIR radar, the FLIR heat-seeking equipment to try to find someone in the desert. Other specialists were demoted as well, from what I understand. So, I'm gonna give him a D- on this case so far. I think the FBI is carrying the load in the background.
D-. Oh man, that's tough coming from you, Chris. We appreciate always your analysis. Again, we're just waiting for a safe return and praying for Nancy. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the
Fox News is the source. So the FBI got, I guess, like thumbnails, still photos, but nothing relevant. So now they're saying front yard, backyard, front of the house, people in cars. So what are you saying? You just got people driving by? I thought they were saying there were people there, like visiting or something, or were on the property. Maybe I misunderstood that. This is why I don't like repeating anything pertaining to Nancy Guthrie. I don't like repeating anything. And I don't want to accuse any news station of giving, fraudulent information, because everything's about interpretation. So this is why I don't like now at this point, and I've been saying this probably for about 2 weeks, repeating anything pertaining to this case is just like, putting your head in a bowl of water and trying to blow bubbles. It's like pointless, because you really don't know what you're repeating. Do they have something or not, and they're not revealing it to the public, what they have seen thus far? I've asked all those same questions about her security system, motion sensors, motion lights, can't have one without the other. The big heavy lights that you usually see over garages, should have had them bad boys all the way around that house. But the one thing people don't seem to understand, you can have this high-tech security, but it doesn't really mean anything if you're asleep. You're just hoping that an alarm will go off. So you need the sensors, the lights, and also an alarm. So if somebody decides to start pushing on doors, screens, there will be some beeping, 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 beeping. Step away from the window, step away from the door. That's what you need. This way, this person knows, okay, if I tread farther into Jimmy in this door, messing with this window, this glass, this slider, whatever it is, garage door, it's going to send an alert to the police department. That's the type of system you want. Because I have said this before about the cameras. What is the point of the cameras if there is no house alarm? As you see, he's sitting up here pulling up weeds and bushes and stuff, putting it in front of the camera, and then dismantle the camera. I'm thinking he put them in his pocket or his book bag he was carrying. This full book bag to go break into somebody's house with a botched robbery, allegedly. I don't know why people keep saying that, because I have to keep saying it to my own self. That doesn't even make any sense to me. Who goes to rob somebody's house with a full tote bag? No, to me, you took a kill kit with you. I can only see it being full with somebody on foot. They're walking. So they're going from house to house, breaking in, trying to get all they can get. On foot. But if you drove in a car, which I'm assuming you did, because how did you get the lady out of there? You would have found her by now if you two were on foot. Because she couldn't walk, allegedly. So you were in a vehicle, and yet you have a full bag. Yeah, I think it was a kill kit in that bag. So that tells me this ain't about no botched robbery. You mean to tell me you were thinking to yourself, oh, I'm gonna go rob this person to also unalive this person? So this don't sound like a botched robbery if the intent is to go murder the person in the house. And then you're going in the house at a time when most people would be in their house. Stay woke, everybody. So this will lead you to believe this person knows Nancy Guthrie. They either knew her or they are on a thrill kill and they just picked a house to burglarize and go in knowing somebody's in there. So take your pick. He knew she was in there, knew a woman was in there, or knew her directly. Because you should know at almost 2 o'clock in the morning, the average person is at home. And if you're carrying a kill kit on your back, then to me, you were going in there to unalive the person. Where are you getting a botched robbery from? The backpack tells the story. So I was telling you, nobody pays attention to the information. He is standing at the door with a full backpack. He took her out of there, meaning he had to have a car. So that means he wasn't just going in there to rob her. And then everybody's worrying about the 41 minutes and what he was doing in there. What the hell do you think he was doing in there? They haven't told you anything about the bedroom, the bathroom, what the rooms look like, anything turned over, anything broken. Tell us what that bedroom looked like. How about that? Were the sheets on the bed? Anything bloody in there? Anything with saliva, semen, her female blood from her body, if you get my drift? In her personal area? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because you always pay attention to what has been told to you, and you have seen it with your eyes. It's not somebody repeating to us, hey, let me tell you what I saw on the video. You're seeing this fool stand there with the mask on, with the gloves, and the backpack is full. You're seeing that. And then the camera is dismantled, obviously. And obviously he made his way in, whether he had help or not. The woman is missing. You can do the math. You intentionally went in there to take her out. That don't sound like no robbery to me. It's a part of the charge when they catch the person. But it sounds like somebody went in there to do harm to the lady of the house and removed her after they did whatever they did to her in the house. And I got a feeling that what was in the backpack was to help dispose of the lady of the house. I'm woke. I don't want to keep hearing any more about no damn botched robbery. Because if you going in there to steal, your bag will be empty. And you will go in there, get what you're going to get, and bring your ass on out of there. And then you chose a time to break in when knowingly and assumingly a human being is going to be in there. So either somebody knew of her and knew her personal business, is family involved, or somebody who knows her comings and goings and that she lived alone. And as you see, different people talking about this lady that they knew of her, used to see her walking the dog, blah, blah, blah. That's enough people right there. Now, that's not counting other people that knew of her and her personal business that we don't know anything about, such as the people at the restaurant. All they got to do is start asking questions. And then somebody will go back and tell, oh, yeah, she lives up in such and such, such and such. And I think she lives alone. She got one dog. Because people talk. What I keep trying to tell people, just like where I went and got my furniture. Yes, Queen finally bought some furniture. And it's supposed to come next week to deliver because they don't have anybody to deliver. Can't get nobody to keep the job because they don't want to work. But the point is, like I told the little sales guy, I made a joke with him yesterday in the store. I said, you told your boss's business by saying he went home because his wife called him home. I'm just going to throw this in here. And so I think he might have been a little bit offended, but I try to play it off by joking, saying, oh, I'm just kidding, but I was dead damn serious. When I was in there last week looking at the same furniture, he was like, oh, my boss is gone. He's the one that can give the deals, on these other little chairs I saw. And he was like, you'll have to come back when he's here. Okay, so I show back up a week later, which was yesterday. And I'm joking with the boss saying, yeah, he said, they were talking back and forth about how he had to go home. And I said, yeah, you had to go home because your wife wanted you home. So he, he laughed at me, but he probably was thinking, how the hell she know I'm married? I said, yeah, your little friend here told it. You had to go home because your wife needed you. He says, yeah, I'm always doing something. I'm always busy. So look, sales guy, he's like, yeah, I just told the truth. I said, yeah, but you don't know me. I said, how do you know if I was a woman who was coming in here looking for your boss? How do you know if maybe I was having an affair with your boss? Now, although I didn't know the boss and I didn't come in asking his name, but I could have just sat around and kept poking. You understand what I'm saying? Poking, asking the right questions, and lead you into telling me where the boss is, which he did do that. But I wasn't doing it maliciously. I was just asking about some chairs, and he just followed up with, oh, only my boss can give the deals. But Queen never said, well, where is he? He volunteered all of that. And I was just letting his little tail know that sometimes you have to be quiet. You can't tell everything. I said, let me tell you all something about living in this town, Knoxville. I said, I have been places where people have talked about people, a person, and I know exactly who they were talking about, and they never gave their name. And that's a true story. Because that's how small Knoxville is. All these little small counties surrounding Knoxville, which is Blount County, Anderson, and Rome, everybody is coinciding with each other, either by relation, marriage, dating, church, so on and so forth, okay? Going out, hanging out, going to places, functions. So, as I just said, a person can be talking about somebody and you know exactly who they're speaking of and you ain't never met them. Or you could have seen them about but didn't know their name. Do you follow me? So that's what I was just trying to tell this little bebopper. You're sitting here giving personal information about your boss, that he went home, this, that, and the other, when you don't even know who I am, although I'm just trying to get a deal on some furniture. You have to still be careful what you say, because you don't know people. That's my point I'm trying to make. And they have made it so very clear pertaining to Tucson that it's a big city, yet it's a little town. It's a big city with a small town feel, and everybody's friendly and gets along, and we love stargazing. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, this big city, small town feel with all this stargazing, you have one citizen who's missing from their address, and her name is Nancy Guthrie. You have to be careful how you tread in life. As the sheriff says, you have to keep your wits about you. Sheriff, nanos, you should have told the public this day fucking one. Because you're dealing with an elderly person living alone. That should have been your message to the public before you even thought about who and why took her out of her house, okay? You didn't have no idea day one. That should have been your motto to the public. I don't know who took her, but everyone needs to be aware of their faculties. Please keep your doors and windows locked, your glass doors locked. If you do not have ADT, please go get you some security, motion lights and sensors. And if you can afford it and like pit bulls, Rottweilers, go get you one of them too. And if you can legally carry, go buy you a GUN. Shut your mouth. You see, these people live in a bubble out there in Tucson and possibly other little towns in America. You've gotten so comfortable with doing what you want that you have forgotten about the creepy crawlers out here who don't mind pushing your damn door open. And for all we know, Nancy didn't lock her doors because she felt safe, she felt comfortable. As you heard her talking in the video when her daughter came to town and they were at that Mexican restaurant. She could have been the type, she didn't lock her doors. Other neighbors have told you they didn't lock their doors. And what's crazy about that, they're showing their damn faces on the news saying, we didn't lock our doors. You don't tell people that. People talk on Facebook. So all you people that have given interviews to the news, Brian Hinton, do you think some of the people in Tucson don't know your legal fucking name and your address? They do now. Just like the guy behind Nancy, talking. He all up on podcasts and every damn thing, giving his full damn name. Then now you're talking about the dog was barking and you got up and went outside to see what the fuck was going on. Now, the fucking Killer, which I think he did on a live, he now knows where you stay and your government name. You people don't think. You need to be very careful even about talking to the news and giving news interviews with your fucking name. You have told us now that you live behind Nancy. The other ladies now told us you live down the street. Well, I won't doubt that this creepy crawly has been back over there looking and lurking out of curiosity. And now you all are doing all this chitter-chattering with the news, showing yourselves, showing your damn bathroom, facing the street, which was so weird to me. Talking about the guy with his hat pulled down and how he looked out of place. Very bizarre to me. Very bizarre. I said, who has a bathroom facing the street? So how do you take a bath and use the bathroom with your shades up? And that goes for Nancy Guthrie as well. When Nancy did that piece with NBC showing how to make a bed, what is it that you noticed in that video? Because I saw it right off the bat. Anybody have a clue? In that video where she's showing America how to make a bed and the other NBC show members were going to compete with each other making a bed. What did you notice in Nancy's room that was so obvious and something that should not have been obvious in that clip? Well, I'll tell you. Her window was open, her curtains were open, and it was pitch dark outside. Say it again, Queen. See behind me? Close those just now because you all said the light, but I told you the device, the light goes in and out. It's the device, not the lighting from the blinds. While she was filming for the NBC show, the Today Show, showing you all how to make a bed, Nancy Guthrie's curtains were wide open, pulled all the way back, and you could see pitch black outside of the window, through the window. And the first thing I said to myself, I said, self, it's 4 or 5 in the morning. Why would she have her curtains open to do this video? It's not like you can see a view of trees or anything. That doesn't make any sense. And a lot of times when you film, live videos and TV shows, they want the curtains closed. If you ever notice that when they do home makeover shows, the blinds are always closed. The curtains are always pulled because of the lighting. So it's 5 or so in the morning. She's filming for the show and she's got her curtains pulled all the way back. And that was something was telling. Maybe you invited someone unwillingly, Mrs. Guthrie, to your home. Because you see, people become comfortable in their environment and they stop locking doors, never lock doors, leave curtains wide open all day and night, leave blinds open all day and night, changing, walking in front of them, naked, half naked, not even thinking that there could be somebody out there watching, lurking about, because the neighborhood is so safe. Nowhere is safe. And as I have told many of you, we all do different things, different race of people do different things. And that is something I've noticed with a lot of Caucasian people. You all like leaving your blinds and your curtains open. A lot of Black folks, we love blinds and we love curtains. We don't leave curtains open all day. You in a lot of black people houses, they don't even open the blinds, they don't even open the damn curtains, even when it's daylight time. Some people just don't like bringing in the sun. And we always like to have curtains. And I have seen this with a lot of people who are white. They don't like curtains and they don't like blinds. I remember a friend of mine, she was my property manager at an apartment complex I lived in many moons ago. And I remember she took me out to her home, which was on a lake. And that was the first thing I noticed when I walked into their house. They didn't have one damn curtain up to the windows, especially the ones facing the water. And I was stunned. And I told her, I said, where are your curtains? She's like, oh, we don't need them. We don't need them. But she lived there with her twin sister, and they were kids, small babies at the time. And the husband lived out of town, and he worked in a whole nother state, Illinois, as a matter of fact, which I thought that was strange. But the wife didn't really want to go up there and stay, I guess, long, so she ended up coming back. They bought a house, so he would come down on the weekends. But see, once again, that's information that I knew about. See, that's why I always tell you, you have to be careful what you tell people, because you can be found so long as you give your government name. So here they are living on this nice house on the lake with no damn curtains, 2 women living alone with small babies, husband far away in another state. Imagine how many people knew that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then, as I said, here in the South, people tend to talk a lot and they tell things, because sometimes we all do it. We're telling our foot hurting while we were at the doctor's office to, strangers at the Walmart. I talked to the little lady that stands in the front of Walmart about her health, my health issues. You just willingly talk. They tell you what's wrong with them. You tell them, oh yeah, I understand, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you're telling something about yourself. You have to be very careful what you tell, because things that you think that are so simple, minute, can lead to an issue with your safety. God forbid, your name is revealed and you actually give the location of where you stay. And with this situation with Nancy Guthrie, we really don't know who the culprits are. As I said, it could be somebody that's worked for her, could be somebody she fired, could be somebody that worked for her many moons ago, many years ago, could be somebody in the neighborhood. I wouldn't doubt that either. Somebody in the neighborhood, somebody that you wouldn't even suspect, somebody that's an upstanding citizen, somebody desperate for money, somebody needing money. You'd be surprised what people will do for the almighty dollar. Good, upstanding citizens. Stay woke now. Family, delivery service, Uber, Lyft, UPS, FedEx drivers. She could have been a target without anybody even knowing that she's the mother of Savannah Guthrie. Do you understand? All they needed to know is that she's alone 98% of the time. 99.9. She doesn't have any children living with her, any adult children, any grandchildren. There are no people coming and going from her house. Because as I said, people talk. And she could have told this information just in passing. She didn't even have to mention her daughter. Just say, yeah, I'm here alone and, I need help sometimes with this and that. And that's all the person needed to hear. And as I heard on one podcast, I believe it was Coffin Daffer, all it takes is for that person to go back and repeat to another person, hey, I know a lady that's well off over here in such and such, and she ain't got nobody staying in her house. She ain't got no traffic coming and going. And I think anybody that lives in that neighborhood that goes by Nancy's house, you're going to see that anyway. Because what do we do when we drive? We look out the window. We notice things in our neighborhood. And I think most people notice, hey, that house doesn't have a lot of traffic. That house doesn't have children coming and going. That house doesn't have dogs running around in the yard. And then somebody might start passing it along. Does somebody stay there? I don't ever see anybody moving about. And all it takes is for the wrong person to hear that information. Before I check out of here, and once again, prayers for Nancy Guthrie and answers. I believe her daughter is back in New York City with her husband and kids, Savannah, and I also believe the brother is back on the East Coast as well. I started this live stream off about a pastor who wants to learn of his congregants' tax returns because they're not giving enough money in church to his liking. I don't know who this pastor is. He's an African-American male, but this is what he had to say pertaining to needing more money for the church. Whoops, sorry about that. Oh, Lordy. Jumped off there. Sorry. Don't know who this pastor is, where he lives. Haven't gotten that information, but.
Next week, I am asking that all church members bring a copy of your tax returns so that I can review them. I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings on Sunday mornings. It's tight, but it's right.
Tithing is right. So all the people who are saying amen, have you all shown your tax returns and your income statements to the pastor? Because it's easy to say amen, but then be mumbling under your breath, hell no, I'm not going to show the pastor nothing personal about my damn business. Do you believe it is right for the pastor, number one, to even ask you to verify your income, number one? Number two, what would you have done? Number three, would you have stayed during service or would you have walked out? And number four, would you return to this church? Take the post on my community page. I also asked you about homosexuality in the church. Would you patronize a church knowing that the pastor is gay? Number two, your pastor comes out gay. What do you do? Walk out the church, stay, ask questions? Do you return? Do you continue going to church? Do you stop going to church? And should pastors be able to pastor a church if they are homosexual? That's one question I didn't ask you all on the polls. Would you even patronize a church knowing that the pastor, he or she is homosexual? Take the polls on my community page. Also take the poll pertaining to this pastor. Hypothetical. What would you do if your pastor, bishop, rabbi, whomever asks for your tax income report? Would you show the pastor what you make? And if he or she says, hey, why haven't you been tithing more? What are you going to say? What excuse are you going to give? What if he says, well, it's mandated that you give us this amount of money? What are you going to say? Frankly, I would not be patronizing any church where the pastor is demanding for me to bring in any proof of income, because we get it. Everybody has his or her own personal issues with money, and they spend it how they want to spend it. As my daddy used to say, people spend their money how they want to spend it and on what they want to spend it on. And that's the expected, allegedly 10% you're supposed to pay from your income to the church. But I don't want anybody telling me what I should and shouldn't give. Yes, we should tithe because that helps the church continue to grow, because bills do have to be paid at the church. So your tithing helps pay the water bill, the light bill, all those things that come with, as someone would say, running a business. But no one wants to be told, bring in your finances and let me see. Because then critiquing is going to come when they go back in the itinerary and it shows you didn't give a certain amount 1 month, 2 months, so on and so forth. Now you're sitting in a hot seat like you're a child and you're talking to Uncle Sam. I don't think many people want to be scolded about their monies. And that will probably build up bad blood between you and your pastor once he scolds you that you have not been paying enough money to the church. you're probably going to feel some type of way. And then every time you go to church and you keep hearing that tax business and income business during service, you're going to be thinking about yourself. And then you're going to wonder if the pastor might start discussing your business to other parishioners. Oh, he driving a Mercedes, but he don't even pay us nothing every month in church. She coming here with these nice suits and shiny shoes on and Louis Vuitton handbags, but she won't even tithe properly. Oh, a pastor can gossip just like the parishioners. Don't get it twisted now. Thank you for your time. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Check out my movie of the week, which is Scream 7. My weekend movie is Soft and Quiet, free on Tubi. Please check it out. I have the trailer on my community page. It is worth every minute from start to finish. Soft and Quiet is my weekend suggestion, and my movie of the week is Scream 7, now playing at a theater near you. I think I'm going to hop out of here and go check it out tonight. Thank you all for the love, the support. God bless all of you. Once again, prayers for Nancy Guthrie. Follow me on the Newsbreak app. Follow me here on YouTube. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you for your time. You all please be safe. I will come back later on or by tomorrow to let you know how the movie turned out. I'm going to go get scared right quick because I said I wanted to treat myself to a movie. I haven't been to the movies in a couple of years, so I'm going to treat myself. Pray for me, okay? Just pray for me. And whoever wrote the Scream movie, because I think I remember who wrote it, this is enough. 7, you're starting to get up there with Friday the 13th. Once you get to 10 or 11, okay. And Strangers, they've got what, part 3? I think I'm gonna check that one out too. Even though I really didn't care for Strangers 1, I don't like, I don't like anything about people being stalked in their houses, kidnap movies, but I may check it out. But I'm definitely going to see Scream tonight, hopefully. So pray for me on my journey. I don't have far to go, so that's a good thing. But you all please be safe, mind the children. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Thank you. God bless all of you. You've been listening to the Vault Excel. Bye.